Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, wa sallallahu sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this latest case study for Tushar Imdad and the Vista Time Mastery System. I'm honored to have with me Sister Maryam, who is a professional storyteller and entrepreneur. Would you start by just introducing yourself and what you do and why you approached me for help in time management and productivity, as well as a bit of business?
Well, I was in a very long trajectory of learning how to make my business and my work sustainable. And the learning curve was really steep. And I was beginning to see that I didn't have the right habits and the right mindset for the past 15 years at least. Well, probably for the past 25 years, I have been working as a storyteller, as a teacher.
And so I remember when I met you, you had started this journey, but obviously there's a lot to learn, right? So can you describe what was happening with you just before you started Vista? What were the big challenges you were facing, and why did you feel that the Vista Time Mastery program and working with me in particular would be a great help in your situation?
I had enrolled in a very expensive business class, and I had really worked hard to learn what there was to learn, but I discovered that I didn't actually know how to learn, and it wasn't something I could do on my own. And then I upped the ante even more by entering a very, very expensive coaching program.
So you didn't have a problem of investing in yourself.
You know, I did. Yeah, it was terrifying because I didn't have, it's not like I had those resources. And in the end, I wasn't able to continue with the coaching program. And in the end, by the grace of Allah, I was allowed to have a full refund from that. But it made me realize that I needed training in how to work. I needed training in how to use my time.
Brilliant.
And I needed training in what really was going on with my inner game.
Got it. You know, just before this call, I looked at your success tracker and I was really happy, and you've actually exceeded my expectations. And so, do you want to just describe your proudest achievements? Like, what are the maybe 3 or 4 accomplishments you've made through the Vista program, which you're most pleased with?
Well, I think one thing is that I recognize the power of changing the way I see myself. So rather than seeing myself as someone who's overwhelmed by technology, I now see myself as someone who's really good at figuring out how to Google.
Brilliant.
And how to phrase what I'm looking for.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, I remember.
And subhanAllah, everything, you know, Google is like, you know, you have the whole world's expertise at your fingertips.
Out of all the Vista tools, out of all the processes, right? The coaching, the group coaching calls, the one-to-one support through WhatsApp, maybe the time tahara or the mission statement. There's so many tools which we explore in Vista, and every client we have, and we do these case studies, everyone has a different story. Everyone has different things which they benefited the most. Out of the Vista program, which aspects of the program helped you the most, and why?
I think one of the things was the challenge, actually, because the challenge made me see that I can actually do way more than I imagine that I can do.
Yeah.
And the challenge is to get out of my imagination and out of my thinking and into the action.
Wow. Yeah.
And so one of the things that I remember, you know, is a sticky focus game. For instance, and setting a timer.
Yes.
And just focusing on those things.
Final question. Many people watching this Sometimes there might be an entrepreneur, there might be someone who's wanting to level up. They're not happy with where they are in their life or their business or their work, and they know they need to get more productive. They know they need to become a higher performer. And they're on the fence, right? Maybe they've got a strategy call coming up. Maybe they need to book the strategy call, and they're just, they're scared. They're scared of maybe the investment. They're scared of getting on a program. They're worried, is it going to work? What would be your advice to people on the fence like that?
I think what I found is that I had to change. I couldn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish in the same old ways that I'd always done everything. And I had to learn how to really distrust that sensation that, well, this is how I do things. And in order to, it's continually you're continually opposing your nafs. And so to do that by yourself is very difficult. You need to be called up. I certainly needed to be called up. I still need to be called up on things. And I think this is why, if you look at people who are really actually accomplishing something and not just going from day to day to day to day, they all have coaches. They all have people giving them a different perspective of themselves. I think it's really critical. I don't see how it can happen without that.